Shri Shri Radha Gokulananda Bhagavan ki jai, Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman ki, Shri Shri Gaunithaya ki, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Jai Gaura Pramanande Hari Hari Bol. You want to do a harmonium? I can try. I'm not the best, but I can try.
Hare Krishna everyone, Hare Krishna. So before you leave out, I just wanted to tell you something. Today is special class. This is Pandav Nirjala Ekadashi today. And in this today's day, we fast from grains and beans as well as from the water. So we fast the whole day without water or anything. And there is a great importance to it as well. And we chant more names of Krishna. We hear about Krishna. So Prabhuji here, Jai Krishna Prabhu, he is a very senior devotee of us. He's been since like the earliest of the days of Bhaktivedanta Manor. He's going to tell us something about today's special day. So please be here and listen to him. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Chana Vallabha Girivaradari Jaya Gopi Chana Vallabha Girivaradari Yasodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yasodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yasodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopichana Vallabha Girivaradari Jaya Gopichana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jayom Vishnupada Paramahansa Parivrakacharya Stotra Sata Shishimadi Sivangre Sabai Chanavindam Bhaktivedanta Goswami Srila Prabhupada Ki Istkon Samstapakacharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Pandava Nirjarakada Shivrata Ki Nitai Go Premanandi. All glorious assembled devotees, all glorious assembled devotees, all glorious assembled devotees, all glories, the lotus feet Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pastacha Desatarine Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Jnana Timarandasya Jnanan Jnana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militan Jena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nitinamine Vancha Kalpatrubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyaivacha Patito Nam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadada Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrindam Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. Thank you very much for all coming here this evening to observe the Pandava Nirjala. We'll try and explain a little bit and hopefully we can learn a little bit and maybe we can also observe this. If we didn't this year, then we can understand the glories of it and maybe next year we can observe it as well. So the first question I'm going to ask everyone, who likes eating? Everybody likes eating. And who likes fasting? One person. Fasting, yep. Generally, most people, when they find out it's going to be fast day or Ekadashi day, awoo, awoo, awoo. I know we don't always like to perform austerities, but on the path of spiritual life, on the path of trying to find out who we are and trying to connect with Krishna, we have to perform spiritual life. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, austerity is the wealth of the Brahmins. When you see a rishi, when you see a sadhu, what gives them that tej? What gives them that shakti? What gives them that power? It's not because they sleep in. It's not because they indulge in gulab jams. It's because they perform tapa. It's because they perform austerities. And human life is meant to perform austerities. Although it's very, very hard, we don't want to perform austerities. If you perform austerities, then you will get that shakti. You will get that teja. And like Prabhupada, when he walked in the midst of the crowd, there was some teja, there was some shakti coming out of his body. Because he was performing austerities. When he was coming from Heathrow, coming down, in those long time ago, in the 70s, 60s, you would come down the stairs and then you could actually go and greet your guest or whoever's arriving. So some devotees, they went to greet Prabhupada. And then one lady who was working there, she said, that man is glowing, that man is glowing. And then the devotees were thinking at first, and then they realized this was the teja, this was the shakti that was emanating from Srila Prabhupada. So even an ordinary mundane person could see the glow, the effulgence that was coming from His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. Because Prabhupada was performing austerities. He would only sleep 2 hours a day. Who can survive on 2 hours a day here? I know Yogi can. That's why he's got the name Yogi. He would eat very, very, very little. I remember one time, I was outside in the courtyard. I was sitting there, it was Balaram's feast. And everyone was enjoying the Balaram's feast. And Prabhupada's servant brought Prabhupada's plate down. And then one devotee went over there, and the person who was carrying the plate said, this is Prabhupada's plate. And the devotee said, oh, can I have something from Prabhupada's plate? And I was just a young kid over there. Then I overheard this, then I also beelined over there. The rest of the devotees were just munching away on the prasadam. And I noticed the plate was completely full. Prabhupada had hardly eaten anything. And the devotee gave what Prabhupada ate. And then, of course, I didn't know much. And I asked, what did Prabhupada eat? And then they said, look, there's this honey-rolled pancake Prabhupada had. He bit from it. This is yours. Srila Prabhupada ki. So in this way, Prabhupada performed austerities. So this is what Ekadashi is meant for. To perform austerities. It comes too often in the calendar. But it comes 11 days after the full moon and 11 days after the new moon. That's right. So that's an interesting story about Ekadashi. There's many wonderful stories about Ekadashi. So at the beginning of creation, we'll go to the Pandava story afterwards. We'll begin with this, the story of Ekadashi. When Lord Vishnu, Narayan, he created the universe, he created the sun, the moon, the planets, all the Shrishti, all the cosmos. Then he also created one personality named Papa Purusha. Papa Purusha. Anyone can know what this personality? There's a hint in the Papa Purusha, Govinda? That's right, sin personified. Because there has to be a yin and a yang, there needs to be a balance, good and an evil. So then this universe has many, many good things, but on the other side there's many sinful things. So when the Lord created this Papa Purusha, then there had to be someone who knows how to give judgment to the Papa Purusha. So then the Lord created another personality. And who was that? That's right, Radha Shakti, Hari Bol. Created Yamaraj. So Yamaraj was manifested, and the Lord instructed someone who does good, piety, they get rewarded, and someone who follows the Papa, the sinful, then they get to go to the Papa planet. So in this way, the universe started kind of rocking around. And then one day, Yamaraj, he invited Lord Vishnu to his abode, Yamaloka. So Lord Vishnu, he went to this abode of Yamaraj, and Yamaraj welcomed the Lord very nicely. He bathed his transcendental feet. He performed arti. But while this was going on, Lord Narayan felt a little bit uncomfortable. And why was that? Not because he was being worshipped, not because his feet was being cleansed. It's because he was hearing some crying in the background. Crying is not always the best things. And then the Lord was hearing all this crying and wailing. And I don't know if you've ever seen someone crying in a pitiful way. If you heard someone crying in a distressful way, it goes straight to your heart. It really, really is not something pleasant to hear. And Lord Narayan was hearing this wailing, this crying. And then Narayan asked Yamaraj, what is this crying? Where is it coming from? Then Lord Yamaraj said, well, those people who live on this planet, who don't follow the rules and regulations of what is required of a human being, those who perform sinful activities, they end up in this place and they have to suffer in the hellish region. And then Narayan was thinking, what have I created? Oh, Bap Re Bap. Then Lord Narayan is Kripalu. Lord Krishna is Karuna Sindhu. What does Karuna Sindhu mean? Anyone? Ocean of mercy. The Lord is very, very kind. So he could not bear the crying of the souls. He could not bear the crying of these living entities. Then he said, there must be a way I can help these living entities. There must be a way I can free these crying jivas, the living entities. They can free themselves. Do you ever remember playing Monopoly? And if you get this get out of jail card, you got very, very happy. So Lord Narayan said, we need to get a get out of jail card for these living entities. Then he decided to manifest himself as Ekadashi. And the Lord explained to Yamaraj, this Ekadashi will able to absorb all the sinful activities of the living entities if they follow strictly the rules and regulations of Ekadashi. So henceforth, the Lord manifested himself. That's why Ekadashi sometimes is known as what? Madhavatiti, or the day of Hari. It's named the day of Hari because the Lord manifested himself. So Ekadashi is Hari. Ekadashi is Narayan. Ekadashi is Krishna. It's the day we absorb our thoughts, minds and activities more on Hari. So when the living entities got this get out of jail card, then they perform Ekadashi, then all the hellish planets became what? Empty. So everyone was following Ekadashi just like you are. Everyone was following blissfully Ekadashi. Then all the jails became empty. And someone was very upset all the jails were empty. Who was that? No, Yamana was happy. He didn't have to work. He was really happy. Papa Purusha was not so happy. So Papa Purusha went to Narayan and said, you have created me. You have given me a certain purpose, a certain service, but I cannot follow this service you have given me. What should I do? Then Lord Narayan was thinking, he was saying, well, if someone breaks Ekadashi, then they will be incurring pap. They will be incurring sin. So when we follow or don't follow Ekadashi, then those living entities, they will go to Papa Purusha. So we must not take not following Ekadashi very, very lightly. It's a very, very important tithi in the Vaishnava calendar. When Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was giving his mercy, when he was giving his benign blessings to everyone, he was giving it to Advaita, to Nityananda, to everyone who was there. But there was one person that was not getting the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. Imagine you over here, yogi is giving out everyone nice Mangalati sweets, and you're left out. How would you feel? You feel very upset. So all the devotees was upset that poor Jai Krishna was not getting any Mangalati sweet. So who was this person who was not getting the mercy? Everyone was getting the mercy. The Lord was in a wonderful mood. The Lord was giving everyone without restriction. But one person was not getting Lord Chaitanya's mercy. Who was that?
Would it be Krishna?
No? Good try. Anyone know? I know you know Radha Shakti. That's right. Sachi Mata, the mother of God himself, was not getting the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. And all the devotees' hearts were breaking. The mother of Lord Chaitanya was not getting the mercy. Everyone was, even the Papa person was getting it, but not Mother Sachi. And Mother Sachi had so much love for Lord Chaitanya. She cared so deeply. If you are a mother, you know how you care for your child. But if you have Lord Chaitanya as your child, man, your attachment grows so much. But somehow or another, Sachi Mata was not getting the mercy. And why was that? Govinda?
Because of Vaishnava.
Vaishnava Parat? Labanga, you know. Advait, yeah, that's one of them, but it's not in this particular Leela. Why was Sachi Mata not getting the mercy? Lord Chaitanya's Kripalu, he's the most magnificent. He gives mercy to everyone. Bada boom, boom, boom. But Lord Chaitanya was not giving. Jagat Priya? She did not follow Ekadashi. She did not follow Ekadashi. So you can imagine how important Lord Chaitanya was placing Ekadashi. Even the Mother of God has to do Ekadashi. Even the Mother of God, if she doesn't perform Ekadashi, she will not get Kripalu. She will not get that mercy. So it is imperative, it is important on this path towards Krishna that we follow Ekadashi.
So is it Ekadashi, is that one of the gods?
It's Hari, it's the Lord Himself. So then Papa Purusha was told that if someone doesn't follow Ekadashi, then you can nab them. Now, of course, on the path of Krishna consciousness, particularly, Jiva Vegam, Vacha Vegam, the tongue is not always easy to control. So sometimes when we just get up, we don't know what day it is, we open the cupboard and we get our cornflakes and boom, 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 get a little milk and munch away. And then Patni says, "Oh, Prabhuji, it's Ekadashi today." And you think, "Oh God, I've broken Ekadashi." So how many people has broken Ekadashi? Me? Yeah, I don't think you have. So one way or another, consciously, I've done it consciously, bada boom, and unconsciously, we've broken Ekadashi. So this is where Niljala Ekadashi comes in. It's our saving grace. We perform austerities for Ekadashi, but on Nirjala, we perform a little bit more austerities. Nirjala means what? Without water. So it's okay, maybe fasting, maybe a little bit of fasting, but imagine. And then it's specifically done, engineered at the hottest time in India. At the moment in India, how many degrees is it? 45 degrees. Who's complaining about 18 degrees? You? Oh, you are cooking. You look red already.
Me and Tony, we've travelled, how far would you say, Tony? A couple of 100 miles. So we've travelled all the way today from Middlesbrough all the way to be here today.
Haribo. So that austerity will give you nice blessings from Krishna.
So down in Middlesbrough, it's like really cold.
Ah.
There.
So Ekadashi is on the hottest time of the year in India. So not to have water is very hard. Once I was in New York doing Ekadashi, it was New York Rath Yatra. We had to do the drama in the middle of the heat. Somehow or another I still managed to do it. So what is the story of Niljala? How did it come about? It's already hard enough to do Ekadashi, but give us a break with no water. So we go back to Mahabharata. Mahabharata is famous for 5 brothers. Who are the 5 brothers? Yudhishthira, Bhima, Arjuna, Nakula, and Sahadev. And who is the one we're going to pinpoint today? Bhima. Sometimes Nirjala is also known as Bhima Ekadashi. So the Pandavas are pure devotees. They all follow the rules and regulations. They follow Ekadashi. But Bhima could not follow Ekadashi. There's one name that's given to him in the Bhagavad Gita. Anyone know what this name is? That's right. Vikordara means one who is a ferocious eater, one who likes eating.
Does he ever stop eating?
Not really. When the Pandavas were in Ekachakra, when they collected the alms of the day, Kunti would divide half of the alms. One half would go to the other brothers, and one half would go to Bhima. So Bhima was a great eater. He could not stop eating. So he felt bad that he could not follow Ekadashi like his brothers. So he went to his grandfather. Who's his grandfather? Vyasadeva. Vyasadeva is the grandfather of the Pandavas. So Bhima approached Vyasadeva and said, Gurudev, I cannot follow Ekadashi. It's too hard. But I feel guilty. I feel bad. Is there some way that I can follow Ekadashi and atone for all the different other Ekadashis that I cannot do? Bhima was saying that within my stomach there's a fire that's burning. So there's 3 types of fires that are existent. One of the fire is within wood. You might not see it, but within this wood there's fire existing inside there. And when pure Brahmins chant, Om Tad Vishnu Paranam Padam Sada Pasyanti Surya, they can chant without a match, and then the fire manifests. Shishirada Gokulananda Ki. So in the days of yore, when the Brahmins chanted mantras purely within that wood, they would chant the mantra and the fire would come. Another fire is created, and that's a combination of cold and heat, and we get fog. And from that fog, that's another form which is created by the fire. And the third one, which comes from the name of Bhima, is Vrika. And Vrika, that fire, we all have within our stomach. So Bhima was saying that my Vrika, my fire of digestion is very, very difficult to control. I don't know if anyone's ever experienced the pangs of hunger. It's a very, very painful experience. Many years ago, I was watching this documentary about how there was lack of food in some places. And this person was explaining that unless you've experienced lack of food, hunger, you have no idea how painful hunger is. At the moment, you just open your fridge, there's food there. If nothing there, you can even tap on your fridge, bada boom, and then it goes straight to Tesco's, and the man arrives and brings it to you. So food is abundance over here. But in many parts of the world, food is not always in abundance as it is here. So hunger is a difficult urge to control. And many times, as we've noticed, we overindulge. So Bhima had this little issue that he always wanted to eat, eat, eat. Who has that problem? I have that problem also. I just can't stop eating. So then Vyasadeva said, on this day, if you perform Nilchala, if you don't take water, then this will atone for all the other Ekadashis that you cannot follow. Now the thing is, it's very important we don't justify ourselves and say, yes, I'll do Nirjara, and the other 23 Ekadashis, I'll have grains. Is that going to work? No. Because Papa, when she lost all her customers, Narayan said that if you break Ekadashi, then you are committing sin. And the greatest sin is that of killing what? Brahmana or a cow. So the same amount of pap is inflicted on you as killing a cow or a Brahmana if you break Ekadashi. So don't think I'll perform Nirjara and the other Ekadashis I'll be okay. It doesn't work. It's one of the offenses in the chanting of the holy name to commit sin on the strength of the chanting of the holy name. So then Bhima very happily said, yes, on this one day I will restrain myself. On this one day I will control myself. On this one day I will not eat. And for Bhima, this was a huge, big austerity. For Bhima, this was almost an impossible task. So the point has to be said. The point has to be said, if Bhima likes eating so much, and if he can do it, he knows where I'm getting at. We should also be able to do it. So I was going to say it's one time of the year, but actually it's not one time of the year. It also comes another time of the year. When is that? Janmashtami. So, although it's not overemphasized at Janmashtami time, but technically speaking, Janmashtami time is also Nirjara, because that is the appearance of our most merciful Kripalu Shri Krishna Bhagavan ki. So on that day it is imperative, on that day it is important that we put our personal desires, our personal enjoyment aside to welcome the Lord. So Nirjala Ekadashi is a very important Vaishnava event that we should follow. There's different levels that you can follow Ekadashis. If you look at the rules and regulations, the most strictest way is that the day before you don't eat in the evening. And then you eat a little bit before sunset. After sunset, nothing. And then all night long. And then you get up at Brahma Muhurta. Then you go all day long. And then the proper way to do it is called Jagrant. Anyone know what that is? Without sleep. Without sleep. So you have to stay up all night. I did it once in Vrindavan with Tamar Krishna Maharaj and Bhakti Charu Maharaj. So yeah, the day before we fasted, then all night long, after Ekadashi was finished, we stayed up all night long chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And staying up all night. And then the time of breaking the vrata, the Ekadashi comes. And when it comes to breaking the Ekadashi, it's not just, okay, whack it in dust, boom, boom, boom. Because remember, your stomach has shrunk. So it's not advisable to straight away have heavy foods. So in the morning you have to have something which is water and milk mixed together, a little lukewarm, and then it helps you with your stomach. And then at lunchtime, then that's when you can have prasadam, grains. So, of course, we don't have to necessarily follow that strict, but I was just explaining if you want to follow. Anybody wants to follow that strict? But if you can just do Niljala, it's great. And then again, tomorrow I think they're going to be giving some nice way to break your fast. And then finally, another thing, if you want to do it properly, according to the scriptures, this is what I'm saying, then you find a Brahmin. After you've performed the Ekadashi Vrata, if you want to get the maximum amount of benefit, if you want Papa, Purusha to stay away, then you find a Brahmin, then you give him a copper pot full of water and a cloth as dakshina. So, if anybody wants to find a Brahmin tomorrow, get your copper pot and a cloth. I was looking for a cloth in my cupboard and I was thinking, oh yeah, who shall I give to? So, human life is meant for austerities. And so there's certain benefits not only spiritually, but there's some material benefits to be had for fasting. Generally, as I was explaining, we like to eat. Generally, we like to eat nice foods. Generally, eating is quite an important part of our day. You just have to look at the high streets. How many restaurants are there? So everybody likes to eat. So for the body, it is important sometimes we give it a rest. Sometimes it's important the body is not constantly have to work. We might not see it with our naked eyes, but the body inside is constantly working and working and working. So if you give a little break to the body, then you get better efficiency for your body. And particularly grains, it's quite heavy on the body to digest. And I remember a long time ago, I did a fast called uncooked food. I just had uncooked food for 3 months. No grains, no nothing. And I felt like I came to Mangalati like belly dancing on my tiptoe. I felt very, very light. I felt very fresh. I didn't feel sluggish. I didn't feel I had no energy. So when you give your body a rest, you actually rejuvenate it and you get some energy. So you need a good body, a healthy body, to also perform your devotional service. And then not only your body becomes healthy, then your mind becomes more sharp. Because the root of our difficulty to control the tongue is the mind. The mind is very, very difficult to control. But if we learn to control Jiva Vegam, what we put in our mouth, if we learn how to perform some austerities, then you will be able to have a healthy body and you will also be able to control your mind much, much more. Have you noticed after overindulging in a nice feast, how do you feel? Yes, sluggish. You feel very, very tired. I was reading this one little article. It says that your maximum work is done in the morning, very, very efficient. By the time the day goes into the afternoon, and after you have lunch, your efficiency of giving out starts to decrease. Because when the food goes into your stomach, you feel sluggish, you feel lazy, you feel tired, you feel like a little siesta. So, the merits of following Ekadashi are very, very clear. If we follow it, then that helps us on our spiritual path. Austerity, as I was explaining, is the wealth of the Brahmins. Krishna himself would perform austerities. Krishna himself would also follow the rules and regulations. So imagine God himself, who creates the rules and regulations, also follows it. Why is that? Because Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna, if I didn't do it, if I didn't set the example, then who would do it? If Bhagavan himself doesn't show how it's done, Lord Chaitanya, who came as a devotee, he showed us how to perform our devotional service. So, next time Ekadashi comes on the calendar, don't have a utsahan. Utsahan is very, very important in spiritual. Anyone know what utsahan is? Enthusiasm. We have to be enthusiastic when we perform our austerities. We have to be happy to perform them. Because part of reaping the benefit of Ekadashi is that we have to be happy to do it. If we do it grudgingly, if we do it because our authorities tell us, if we do it because we are scared of Papa, if we are scared of going to hell, it's all right. But actually, we should do it enthusiastically because it's the day of Hari. So we minimize our sleep, we minimize our cooking. Ladies, how long does it take to cook? A long time, isn't it? Chopping, cutting, maybe having a quick look at the recipe. So all these things can be just put to the side, and all that time that you are used to cooking, that valuable time, we can use it for the day of Hari, for chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Time that we are allocated at the time of Janma is limited. The time we are given in our Nasib, in our Jyotishri is limited. How we use our time is very, very, very important. If we always use our time to gratify our senses, to indulge our senses, to do jalsa, then unfortunately that is misuse of our time. But time which is used to glorify the Lord, to perform bhajan, to read the scriptures, to read the Bhagavad Gita, that will elevate you. That will free you. And those who are serious on this path of Krishna consciousness, because there are different levels of Krishna consciousness, then you have to find what level you want to be. If you're playing snakes and ladders, how many times do you want that long ladder do you want to land on?
A couple of times,
Yeah? So you're always eager to land on that ladder that takes you straight to 99, isn't it?
Yeah.
But then when you roll it, woo, then you just go down the snake. So that ladder, which is straight to 99, that is called utilizing your time for Krishna. If you want to land close to Krishna, if you want to be 99, one step away from Krishna, then this is how we should utilize our time. Time is limited. People say money is gold, money is the honey. But money can go. If money goes, what can you do?
It can make you broken.
Can make you broken. If money goes, what can you do? You can make more money. You can make more money. But if time goes, what can you do? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. When the time is gone, it's gone. And no matter what you have, you cannot bring that lost time. So I was reading another article. I don't read enough scriptures. I read too many articles. And then they were interviewing people very close to death. And they were asking what were their regrets in their life. And 95% said they did not utilize their time properly. They thought they had all the time in the world. They thought time was unlimited. They thought Mrityu will never come. So they just kept on living each day like Jalsa Maharaj. But eventually, Krishna says, time I am. When Bhishma was lying on the bed of arrows, with all the different arrows, he was in so much pain. And Arjuna felt so bad that these arrows were there causing him pain. And Arjuna said, I'm sorry to be the cause of your death. But do you know what Bhishma's reply was? Bhishma's reply, it's not your arrows is causing my death. It's not even Shikandi's arrows that's causing my death. What is causing my death is inevitable time. Kala. That is causing my death. The moment we are born, Vasudeva told Kamsa, who was so fearful of his death, why are you so fearful of your death? Because of what you heard in the sky. Do you not know the moment you are born, death is already ordained on you? But we totally ignore it. Because we think we're going to live forever. We think we're in control of our own destiny. There was a king in England. He thought he was the king, so he thought he could control everything. He thought he could control his subjects. He think he could control all the elements. And when he found out the tide was coming in and out, that upset him. I don't like this tide coming in and out. Then he told his ministers, when the tide is the furthest, I want to be placed on the seashore, and I'm going to tell the tide not to come. I am the king. People should listen to me. I don't want the tide to come in. It's a true story. Then he plonked his throne there. He sat on there. And then the moon did its bit. And the tide started coming in. Have you ever noticed the tide coming in? And the tide was coming. And the king said, "Stop, don't come, I am the king." But as the phases of time, color was processing, the water started coming. And then it touched his toes. And he says, "What is this? This ocean is not listening to the king." He said, "Stop, don't come." And the tide started coming. And then it reached his hips. And he's saying, "What is this? It's not listening to me." Then it came to his neck. And now at this time, any intelligent person would think what? What would an intelligent person think at this point when the waters reached your neck? Move away. Smart fellow, you would move away. You can't control this tide. You can't control the phases of the moon. But did the king move away? No. His arrogance kept him there. And it came to his lips. It came to his mouth. It came to his nose. And blah, 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 blah. The tide took him away, inevitable time. So as much as we think we have control, we have no control. One person, he died. One person, Prabhupada was giving a lecture, and then Prabhupada said, "Krishna is God." And this person put his hand up and says, "You say Krishna is God, I say I am God." And then Prabhupada said, "If you are God, then you must be the supreme controller." And then he said, "Yes, I am the supreme controller." And then Prabhupada said, "Can you check you're going to the bathroom?" He said, "No." He said, "What kind of God are you? Can you control your old age?" He said, "No." He said, "What kind of God are you?" He said, "Can you control your pangs of hunger and sleep?" He said, "No." He said, "Oh, what kind of a God are you?" So we think we are the controllers, but actually we are not. So if we get a chance, Ekadashi, follow it, use that extra time to try and utilize these valuable moments of gold dust which are sipping away through our fingers, and use it for chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. I'm not feeling it, we're not surrendering. Everyone put your hand, reach to Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Bolo Shishirada Gokulananda ke, Shri Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman ke, Shri Shego Nita ke, Pandava Nirjalekadashi ke, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ke, Nitai Go Premanande. We welcome you all to please chant for the glorification of Krishna. We will have Aarti now. Thank you.
Thank you.
Kiva Jayo Jayo Gaura Chande Aro आरती को शोभा जय जय गोरा चंदे आरती को शोभा जनारी तवाने